been working on my new frame building project again, and I should have that video up next weekend, but in the meantime, I figured I'd do another quick bike check video. This is the third frame I built, and my second fat bike. In this video, I'll go over the basic frame design, and then I'll talk about the part spec. I built this frame in 2015 and have been riding it ever since. Of all the frames I've built, this one might have the most miles on it. A big part of that is that it gets ridden all year round. Snowy trails, the frozen creek and lakes in the winter, and the sandy, muddy river trails the rest of the year. The first frame I built was a fat bike with long chainstays and a fairly steep head tube angle. This was back in 2012. Because of the big tires and the overall length of the frame, I figured a steeper head tube angle would keep the handling quicker. And unless the trail got steep, the geometry worked just fine. I built frame number 3 to replace frame number 1. Because I swapped a lot of the parts over, this frame also has a 100mm bottom bracket with 135mm spacing in the front and 170 in the rear. Back when I started building frames, 135, 170 spacing was more common than it is today. I designed this frame with mountain bike friendly geometry, with a slacker head tube angle and shorter chainstays than my first fat bike. I actually ran this as my main mountain bike for about 5 years before I set it up as a true fat bike. When it was my mountain bike, I had it set up with 27.5 plus wheels and a RockShox Reba fork. The current fork is a cool segmented fat bike fork from On1. This is the first frame that I used a 44mm head tube from Paragon Machine Works, and I've used them on most frames ever since. This is the only frame I've ever built that I didn't use a chainstay yoke. These chainstays are from Nova Cycles, which is now out of business. They were the 29W chainstays and had a really nice bend that worked well for fat bikes. I also did some experimenting with the seat stay design. The ends of the seat stays are capped with bullets from Paragon Machine Works. If I were to do this over again, I'd cut the seat stays shorter so that the caps didn't stick so high up. And now for the parts. Up front, I have a Maxxis Colossus 4.7-inch tire, front and rear BB7 mechanical brakes, front and rear Salsa fat bike hubs, and front and rear Surly Margelite rims. I really like the feel and build quality of these TRP brake levers. In back, I'm running a 45 North Van Helga tire. I recently added a Microshift Advent 9-speed rear derailleur, along with a wide range 1142 9-speed cassette. I'm not really interested in getting an 11 or 12-speed drivetrain for this bike. This 9-speed stuff works great, it's durable, it's easy to maintain, and it works just great for me. This bike gets ridden in some pretty crappy conditions, so having a drivetrain that can easily and inexpensively be replaced is a big plus for me. I've got a Thompson dropper post holding up some sort of WTB saddle that I like, a Salsa seat collar. We've got a custom frame bag from Sturdy Bags, and an old race face crankset and narrow wide chainring, along with some stolen flat pedals. The frame doesn't have any water bottle mounts, so if I want to carry some water bottles, I just use the 2 Revelate feed bags up front. We've got a Cane Creek 40 headset and a race face stem, holding up a Salsa Bend handlebar. I'm running my usual ergon grips along with some All-City track grips that I pushed up into the bend of the bar to add some more insulation and grip for when I want a second hand position. The Advent shifter is great, but I'm still getting used to the fact that I shift up and down with my thumb. I've been using Shimano trigger shifters for a really long time. And on the other side, I'm using this dropper lever from Wolftooth, which I love. I set this bike up a few different ways depending on what time of the year it is and what the conditions are like. I have an older fat bike wheel set that I run Dillinger studded tires on, and I still have my 27.5 Plus wheel set from back when it was a mountain bike. To run that, I can either use this Krampus fork seen here, or I can put the Reba back on. Overall, I just really love the versatility of this bike and all the different places it can take me. It's just a really fun bike to ride, and if I had to go down to just one bike, it might be this one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you see the next video when it comes out. If you haven't watched my other videos, especially the series of me building myself a new mountain bike frame in my garage, go check them out. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.